You don't have to starve yourself or go on a 500 calorie medical weight loss program to lose weight. That is not the answer to getting weight loss and getting fat loss. Those are basically short term solutions to a long term problem, and they're not going to give you that long term result that you're looking for. Many people that we find, they actually don't eat enough. And many have been chronic dieters their whole life. And because of all these low calorie diets, they've actually created some metabolic damage where their metabolism is no longer running as effectively as it should be. It's running slower than what it normally would be, and different things like that. So when that happens, it just makes weight loss harder and harder. And every time that somebody goes on a really calorie restricted diet, they end up creating more metabolic damage and slowing their metabolism down more, and making it harder to keep weight off and lose weight off, or lose weight in the future, and keep that weight off when they go back to eating normal. In reality, you can really, only starve yourself skinny once in your lifetime, and then after that, it just never works quite as well. And each time it'll work a little bit less, as it'll be a little bit less as effective. And what the reason this is because it happens is because when you eat a extremely low calories, so this would be anything that's below your basal metabolic rate, your body's going to naturally slow its metabolism down to whatever that level is you're bringing in. And this is basically a way the body just preserves life and keeps itself, from dying, really. So when we've had a lot of these diets, especially when they've been stacked on top of each other, or every year, things like that, we create this metabolic damage. And maybe your BMR should be running at like 1,400 calories, but because of the damage that's been created, it might only be running at 800 calories. So that means anything that you eat in excess of 800 calories is now going to pretty much get stored unless you're going to burn it off, and you just can't out exercise a bad diet and calories and things that way. And this is where these medical weight loss programs really are harming people, and they're harming their metabolisms. They're putting people on 500 calories, telling them not to exercise, which is just wrong to begin with. It's just irresponsible on their part. But the other thing is that 500 calories, that's your metabolism is going to slow down to meet that 500 calorie demand. Yeah, sure, you're going to lose weight, but you're only losing weight because you were eating maybe 1,500, 1,600 calories. You drop it by 1,000. Yeah, you're going to lose weight. It's going to take some time for your metabolism to slowly come down to that, but it's going to come down. And when you go off of that and you start coming back up, it's not going to go back up. It's not going to, move up with that. It's going to want to stay down here. And now you're going to have these excess calories on there. And that's where you end up gaining the weight back. That's, a lot of people, they've yo-yo diet or dieted and things like that. And that's because of the metabolic damage that was created and the metabolism not running properly. So we've seen with a lot of people that they have, like I said, that metabolic damage, and they have to actually reverse diet by training themselves to eat a little bit more. And this is something that Tammy in her nutrition coaching really works on for a lot of people, because a lot just aren't eating enough. And we really don't like the idea of dieting to begin with. We like the idea of just eating healthy, making better food choices, making something that's going to fit into your lifestyle and keep your body healthy, and keep that metabolism healthy. Dieting is really just a short-term solution to a long-term problem, when what you really need to do is learn healthy eating habits that you can sustain over your lifetime. Yeah, you can restrict your calories, you can not eat carbs, you can go keto, you can not, have a sip of alcohol for a couple months, you can only eat chicken and broccoli and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, that all will probably work for a while, but the problem is it's not sustainable. And more importantly, is that really how you want to live your life? And for most people, the answer is going to be no. And if that's how you want to do things, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for most people, they don't want to do that. They're going to have some drinks. They're going to have pizza here and there. They maybe are going to have fish and chips and things like that. But it's learning that balance and finding that balance for the person, and getting them, and just to get them healthy, and to be able to get the weight off and keep the weight off there. So, don't look for another diet, and stop kind of chasing every new diet, or, everything new that's coming out, like with diet, or every new diet that comes out. Quit kind of getting sucked into that, and instead focus on healthy habits, focus on eating real foods, and doing things that you can sustain over your lifetime. you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to give up eating the foods that you enjoy. If you practice like the 80-20 rule, that's usually pretty good. And that basically means 80% of the time, the foods and everything that you're putting into your mouth are healthy choices. And the other 20% of the time, they're kind of calories that you're eating of things that you enjoy, but they're not necessarily healthy. So that's like your ice creams, your desserts, your drinks, all that kind of stuff. So, but that keeps a balance there for you, and that's really what we're after, is creating a balanced, sustainable lifestyle, and maintaining that weight loss off versus losing it and then only regaining it again.